afternoon, YouTube. It's Man Away George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, can you believe it's already September? I mean, God, it seems like the year just started. We just got 3 months left of 2023. 3 months. It's like, it's crazy. It just, it seemed like I just, just started 2023, halfway through it, and we're close to the finish line. We're already in September. And this is a Labor Day weekend. Shout out to all you who still have a job. I don't have a job anymore. I don't worry about working. So I know this one lady has a job, so she has to work. But she is an IFBB pro. She just turned pro last year at Nationals. Also, she serves our country in the military. So as a citizen, we appreciate the sacrifice you made for our country. We have here for me the lovely Mrs. Nicole Washington-Sanchez. We're going to talk it up, chop a little questions, what got into bodybuilding, and also what are her plans, because there's not much of a year left, so there's also the next coming year. So welcome, ma'am. Thank you for coming, and we appreciate your time. And this is a question I always ask you lovely ladies who get in sport. Why did you get into such a sport of muscle and masculinity? Please share with us.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here, and I'm really happy to share my story with everybody, all of your fans and followers. So thank you for the opportunity. Um, as far as why I came to bodybuilding, for me it was pretty much like a culmination of everything that I have done as a kid. So I have a background in swimming and dance and a little bit of track and marching band. And I know most people are like, marching band's not a sport, but I mean, we
No,
we did a lot. I know.
I play
We did
football.
a lot of, yeah, right. So we did a lot of practicing, a lot of running, and it's memorization, it's routine. You're playing an instrument while you're like running around. So it's very strenuous. But so all of those sports really, once I learned about bodybuilding, I was like, "Oh my God, like this prepared me for the sport." Um, I worked in a gym when I first met, I met my first figure competitor at the gym I was working at, and I saw her and I was like, "Can women can be muscular?" It was one of those moments where you go, "Oh," and then you just see the world in a whole different way. I didn't even know that you could have arm muscle as a woman. So I spoke to her and I was like, "What do you do? You look amazing." She was like, "Oh, I'm a bodybuilder." And I was like, "Okay." So, um after that conversation, it was really like I never looked back. I started learning everything I could. I never deviated, and that was like what, 8, 9 years ago. So I've been training like with the goal of becoming a pro ever since that conversation.
Yeah, it's a good thing. There's a lot of the band thing. I had my oldest niece and my one of my nephews. They were in the band. And, I'm saying that. Yeah, you carry some of his equipment. You're walking down the field. Yeah, it's not the same as football training. We have to actually hit people and like that. But but yeah, a lot of the athletic background. I mean, track is very popular. I know people like Mela Ash, Linda Murray, quite a few
Mhm.
female bodybuilders started out in track. Just saw a while ago a young lady became the first black woman to medal for in swimming. Just today, I saw this. Congratulations to her.
Mhm.
And it's just that foundation, how you get into bodybuilding, just go, because many of you that do, I hear often, one thing, yes, being an athletic background, and then also how some get into it because, they want to lose weight. Sometimes after they had a kid, they're about it. And then you saw a figure competitor, which is, I see figure is kind of like a transition division, as I often talk to some ladies. It's like that division where you're coming up, like most ladies like to start like bikini, and they climb up, and
Yep.
then they hit like a division like figure, and say, well, I could either stay here or go up a few steps, or you get the
Mhm.
division wellness, kind of go to the side.
Mhm. Yeah. Yep. Um, sorry, what was the question?
Well, I was just saying, I was just saying how you got into like I said, I don't have any questions. I just have conversation, but but like I said, you started out in just having a passion for a sport. When
Oh,
did you actually start getting into competition?
oh, well, regarding like the divisions, like I always knew I was gonna do women's physique because I don't do heels. So, like not at all. I'm like a giraffe, so I fall, I trip. So like figure, I didn't know about women's physique until I had like done some research. So that was maybe like 2 years in. So I started with the goal of just building my upper body. And I was thinking, maybe I'll do figure. But then when I learned about physique, I was like, I'm gonna do that. So I really started like physique training. Maybe let's see, like 5 years ago, because I had been doing some weight training before that, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I just like I lifted things and put them down. It was fun. But with the goal of like becoming a physique pro, it was about 5 years ago.
Mhm. Yeah, that's the thing is like I think I know some ladies that they got into bikini, went to figure, and once those clear off those cute those heels, whew, like, I know one of my favorite comedians, Chris Rock, says a daddy's job is daddy his daughter not to wear clean heels. And he talk about strippers and that, you know. But yeah, it's you
Oh,
started out in physique. Yeah, it's Chris Rock. He's one of my favorites. And and you start, you just want to do physique, and as you know, physique has been around for a good bit. It's a division that's. When I first started getting into this thing in bodybuilding, I didn't like it too much because I saw it's watered down women's bodybuilding. But in the past
yeah.
few years, it has the divisions are starting to meld. Even if you look at the women in figure now and the women in physique, you know, just saw recently some ladies who are switching up from physique to women's bodybuilding. Some women figure up to figure to up to physique. Now, what was your first show that you started in, and what was that feeling?
My first show was 2021, so I've only done two shows. I turned pro in two shows. But like I took a whole year before my first show, so to get ready. I actually well another reason I got into bodybuilding was because I saw a video of Kai Green and like his routines. He was such an inspiration. So I took a year and I didn't have any posing help at all. I just like worked on it on my own. And so I did my first show with the goal of showcasing the routine rather than like being in shape. Um, and Sandy was the head judge at that show.
Sandy Williamson, yeah, I
She
know
was
her.
like, yeah, she's so. But sorry, I muted myself on
That's
accident.
all right.
um, yeah, so she told me, get your conditioning down and you'll be a pro. And I was like, okay, well, I'll do that. So I just took another year. But the experience of that first show, it was awesome. Like I never because I'm a swimmer, I'm used to kind of being around people in a swimsuit, so, like, the bikini didn't bother me. I was the only women's physique competitor there, so it was really cool to, like, have that introductory experience, but I also really wanted to, like, compete against other people just to see, like, how I matched up, and I didn't. So I was like, "Well, I have to do another show if I'm gonna know if I'm good at this or not." So it was kinda my first show was like it was a test, really.
So you did your first show, and then after that, you did nationals last year. And
Yes.
that was a good lineup because this year's nationals is going to be in Texas because it was in Florida the last few years, but they moved it to Texas. I know a lady who
Mhm.
I've talked to who I know a couple ladies who I've been talking to to get their pro cards. Tashara, she was there. She won her pro card that year. I saw Salika Givens. She won her pro card there. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Salika.
love her.
Yeah, she's a great person. I'm hoping to get her on here. She always does some interviews and say, you got to get with me because you know what, I have a type of style. I'm a particular type of criminal, and I just love anarchy and chaos. But Nicole, we'll get back to you when we talk about yourself. I'm sorry if it comes out every now and then. Gotta be careful. But yeah, so after that show, you just get your feet wet, get your feeling of it. When was the decision to do nationals? Or you feel like okay, maybe I do another show, or you just say, let me just jump in and see how I do here.
I knew after my first show that my next show was going to be nationals, but I also knew that I needed some time to like get lean and get a little bigger and prepare. So I didn't actually this is funny, but I thought that the December national show was the only national show that I know. Yeah, so I was preparing and I was watching like Junior Nats and USA's and I was like, oh, what are those shows about? Those look cool. So I
They
found the
are.
December one. I know. So if I had known that, I probably would have done either USA's or North Americans,
Hmm.
because they are bigger and like there's more people there, but I don't know. So I just prepared for the through the entire year through those shows, with the goal of going in December, and I didn't know about like, "Oh, I'm gonna win," or anything. I just was like, "I'm gonna showcase my best physique and do my best routine," because I was also making my own routine at this time. I wanted to showcase, like, the kind of music that I listen to and the movement that I, like, generate to that music because I knew it was gonna be a little different. So I was like, "If I can just get to the placing where I can do my finals routine, I'll be really happy." So,
Hmm.
and yeah, then I won.
Yeah, because there's like plenty. There's junior nationals. There's teen collegiate and masters. There's USA's. There's the nationals. There's also the Olympia. They have the amateurs. I mean, there's quite a few pro qualifiers. There's also a show called. This is for mostly for women's bodybuilding. It's called the Miss International. Back in the day,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
it used to be a pro show, part of the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. It predated the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic, but like I said, one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite movies is Batman Begins when Ra's al Ghul told Bruce Wayne, "The order to kill the enemy, walk around and stab him in the heart." And Arnold did that with both women's bodybuilding, with, physique, and figure. Don't care about 212, that's guys. And after that show, what was that feeling when you tell you, Nicole, you're now an IFBB pro?
It was so amazing. I was so happy because like the during peak week, I honestly I had the worst mental health. Like I was like, I'm small, they're gonna laugh me off the stage, they're gonna think my routine is stupid. And I had really been like suffering with that self-doubt through a lot of the year, because I had some like issues with a couple of people who were just really not positive about what I was trying to do. So I knew deep down that, like, I'm gonna do this regardless of, like, what these people say, but, like, it wore on me, and so after my peak week, I was like, "You know what? Like, I'm gonna be last place, so let me just go and have fun." But then I placed a lot better than I expected. Even during prejudging, I was like, "Oh, I'm in the center, and they're not moving me." Yes. So, yeah, it was one of the best days of my life because it was the first thing in my life that I did completely for myself. Like in my earlier life, there were competitions I did, other things that I did where it was for my mom or like my family or whatever. But this bodybuilding, it was for me. And it still means like, so much to me. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and people got to understand that like the when I started stuff and the learn things I've learned and the friendships I've garnered with some of these ladies, the stuff is that the mental aspects is tough, especially when you're taking a feminine form and transforming it from what is more soft, more shapely to something more with muscle definition. I mean, and sometimes you have issues with what I call the haters. They people who don't
Yeah.
understand. Like this is a sport of for just it's a sport where it's something that you like and enjoy. Sometimes you might lose friends because of they understand it. Sometimes your family will feel like one thing if you're sometimes I remember one time I was talking with one lady saying he might she remember her dad didn't want to do it. So he said like said I don't want my girl to be my boy, but it's just you got to understand that this is a sport in which it's a very educational. It's a sport where I think it should get a little bit more recognition and status compared to some of the other sports around here. But we all know that people are not going to say this. We got here my man here, KL the Wanderer. He does content too. He says this. He says you need another persona, Mr. Glass. I did like someone else character that, but not that much. It's just that part said there was a children that called me Mr. Glass, and that's all right. Man. Also, he says this. He says she sure is party.
Oh,
I'm a fan. Oh yeah, you got a fan here.
thank you.
Also, he says Congratulations for being a pro. Congratulations. It says, and yeah, that's tough. That you had those people, you know, um, going into your head, telling you, getting that, and then you have to know what, fight those demons in your head. Because sometimes I've talked to ladies that sometimes get in a dark place, and then something's like, say, yeah, this is doubt this. Especially there's a lot of body dysmorphia issues where
Oh
being
yeah.
a bodybuilder.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like even now, I'm still like I'm really small. I'm not gonna be ready because my pro debut is in 2024, like late 2024. But like right now, I'm in kind of a building season, so it's definitely. I will look in the mirror and be like, "You look small and fat," and people go, "No, you're huge," and it's just the the mind. It's like a mind fuck. I don't know. Like I, it's very different. Um, it's yeah.
Well, the thing is that you got to understand that sometimes your worst enemy is the enemy within. You have all these other people out there, but if you can't like this, how best would say, the body is wanting, but the mind may not be willing. And if the mind doesn't go with it, the body's not going to follow. Remember a while back Simone Biles, when people were booing her because she took a step back, because she had people hating on her, and she just felt like, what? Let me take a step back, take a breath, and let me worry about me. Or the best way advice I would give you is like what Bernie Mac said in House Party 3. He said, boy, if people don't like, or I'm gonna say like this, girl, if people don't like what you do, say, fuck them, fuck them down, throw some biscuits down, and hit them on this wall. That's what that's my man Bernie Mac, not Bernie Mac. Here, this is for KL. He says, uh, I don't understand how you lose friends or for bodybuilding. It can't be that deep, can it? Well, here, KL, let me show it to you.
Uh, you'd
Most
be
people,
surprised.
yeah, most people don't understand it. And when people don't understand it, then sometimes, you can't tell, you can't, you can sit there and explain to them and give them like, hey, this is what I do, this is it. But if especially something that's not, I would say, more commonplace to them. It just then you have, like I said, I've had to talk to ladies that they lost their friends because of that. That they because one thing most definitely is that you change the aspects of your life when you become a bodybuilder.
Yes.
Mostly, you can't eat this, you can't go this, you can't do that. I mean, one lady told me that she went to a wedding because she wanted to go to a wedding because it was a friend of a friend's child, and she had to bring her own food. I know some ladies would say it just you have to change everything what you used to do all over, and people may not understand that.
Yeah, I mean, my husband's family, they were really not supportive because my husband is Latino, so his family is very like, oh, women should, cook and be in the kitchen and not be in the gym. Yeah. So like it really I had to I'm the kind of person where like I don't really care how you feel about what I'm doing because it's not affecting you. So I would just bring my little food to all of their gatherings and they would get mad. And I would just be like, this is something I have to do. But luckily, my husband, he's always been supportive of me. And so, like, having him there to be like, leave her alone. Like, it was very helpful. But yeah, I brought my food to weddings, like gatherings, everything. And losing friends, I did lose one friend, definitely, because the things that like you were saying, like, the things that that person liked to do was, like, drinking, and I've never been a drinker anyway, so the last time I hung out with them, we went to a bar, and I didn't drink because I was 8 weeks out, and they were like, "Why aren't you drinking? Like, what's wrong with you?" And I was like, "I have a show to win, okay? So, like, get out here." So after the show, we just went our separate ways, and I told them, I was like, "I'm on a path now that I don't think you would be very comfortable with, and I don't know if the friendship will survive." So then it was over. So, like, it is what it
Hmm.
is.
Yeah, it
I think
happens.
the people
It's just
who yeah. Like, the
yeah.
people who, like, really wanna see you win, they'll stick around, and I have a few people who, like, they've stuck with me through, like, all of my craziness and everything, so I'm grateful for them.
Hmm. Well, like I said, it's good that support. I know there's Israelis who are of Latin descent, ladies from Mexico, Argentina, South America. And they told me because there's a lot of machismo in that part of the world, especially
Yeah.
like is your husband there? What's your husband's name?
Elizondo, but he goes by Eli.
Eli, is Eli there?
No, he's not.
All
Not
right.
currently.
Yeah, I wasn't. I'm not asking what it's like to be with a female bodybuilder, have a wife. I know he's happy with you and you love each other. How long y'all been together? How long? When did y'all first meet? You know,
Think 2015. We've been together for in total 8 years, but
whoa,
we
whoa,
just got
whoa,
married this
it,
year.
whoa.
Yeah.
It's Mexican because you've been married for about 20 years in the Mexican community. You should
Yeah,
have
that's the
15.
joke. They're always like, "Are you? Why aren't you just get married? Like, have where are your kids?" And I'm like, "No kids. Sorry,
Yeah.
go."
Hey, I tell you the truth, I don't have no kids either. I'm a great uncle. I help raise my nieces and nephews. I know children are a
Mhm.
nice pleasure, but it's not for everybody. This is a man here
Yeah.
for KL, the one who says this. He says, what point of strong body if you don't have any strong mind? That was fun. Samurai movie? No, KL, it's from the movie Men in Black, the first one, when K's sitting with the
I
guy
like that
D.
movie.
Yeah, and he's talking to him, and D's the older Men in Black. He's retired, so he blinks him out. And that's where that's
Mhm.
from. If the mind's not, if the mind's not willing, the body's not willing, the mind's got going. That's how it's from. So you need to watch more of your movies, Kale. Yeah. So after nationals, the critique did you give you? Tell you, you did pretty good. You won the nationals, but I know the judges give you feedback. What's your feedback you got from the judges?
So my feedback was get my upper body bigger, which I completely agree with. I thought that I had more size than I did because I hold a lot of fat in my back. So I was like, oh, my back's great. But it was all right, but it wasn't like as big as I would have wanted. So Sandy told me bring up my upper body before my pro debut, which is fine. I I'm not a fan of training upper body really, but I'll do what I need to do. So it was kind of like I expected what feedback I actually got. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why I learned from this that the back can make or break how you place in some of these shows. And if you everything's be all together, but if the back is
Mhm.
off, or you don't have good lat development, or your delts, you don't have those muscle like, and especially when bodybuilding, you have to have those muscle bellies. You have to have the insertions. Stuff I've learned. We as the people
Mhm.
outside, we see okay, she looks pretty good, but then the judges they have a better eye. One thing is they do
Mhm.
have a lot more control when it comes down to where you're placing, how you do. I know when somebody told me that the head judge will have more rank. You can have all four judges might say, okay, we're going with this person. And the head judge says, I'm going with that person. Their vote don't count. So they have to go with him or her,
Oh.
whoever. That's the way I learned. I learned a lot of stuff. People tell me this. Folks, we're gonna jump into her social media for a bit and check out some stuff. If you're interested in watching. But guys, and this is no offense to you, Nicole. This is something I tell to guys out there, especially the guys who are fans of female bodybuilders or schmoes, or in other words, muscle purpose schmoes. No, the pics. Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah.
Don't she has a husband? Eli saying, yo, who does it to my mommy? They were that to my mommy. No, yo, man, yo, I'm fool. You might go straight bato, in a minute. But we're gonna go here on social media real quick, folks, and pop this up. And we're gonna show this video. This is from when she competed at the Nationals championship
Oh yeah.
last year. And
Uh-huh.
this is a routine. We don't play music because YouTube is like always some shit about music. So here goes. Wow. I mean,
Oh, music's the best part.
yeah, but the problem is, YouTube, they always some shit. So here
Oh
we got
yeah.
nice. Yeah, good. If I tell you you have a great body, you hold it against me. Yeah,
I
that's my awesome
appreciate
powers.
that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And what was the music you were dancing to in that routine? Do you remember it?
Oh yeah, this is the music. It's one of my favorite songs. It's called "Lost and Found" by this. I don't know. I guess he's like industrial house producer. The guy's name is Andy Stott, and I was so lucky to see him live. And oh my God, like yeah, it was that the seeing him live was one of the best experiences of my life. But this song, when I heard it, I was like, oh, this is my national song. And it kind of bummed me out though because this particular track, it's really there's a lot of bass, so it didn't translate as well as I thought it would over in the hall, but I think people could still hear it. So like that was I learned like I have to choose like a different song if I really want it to project. But yeah, it's my absolute favorite song. And
Yes.
then yeah, I think my prejudging one was like a Beyonce song, and it was really good timing because it just came on, and I just grew with it. So it was a lot of fun being on stage.
Yeah, I think it's like the stage is like where you represent yourself, your body, and your physique. You all the years and work you put into it. Getting your pro card. I mean, like I said, you only be competing for. There's your hubby right there. Proud man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're only competing for a couple
hmm
of years, and
hmm
then I know some ladies who are competing for 20, 30 years. Sometimes you just had the North Americans. One lady I did an interview, she's my good friend Amanda Snooks. After a little over 10 years of competing, she finally got her pro card. Sean Saley, she just got her full pro card. One other
Yep,
lady
I saw
who,
her. Yeah, she
yeah,
looked great.
yeah, I'm a big fan of Shan, and also Brittany Parrish, who just got her pro card. And there's right here, Tashia
I
right
think I know
there.
her.
She's supposed to be making her debut this year at the Daytona, I believe. She's posted on her social media.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've been following her. Yeah,
Yeah,
I really like her. She was great.
yeah. This picture here in the front double impressive. Good look at delts details. Quads very. You have a good taper. Putting in. But it's a lot of work, and to bring in good shape and conditioning. Especially one thing people gotta understand. Even if you're just off, who says that you're a trainer?
He helped me with my mandatories and my posing like in the last couple of weeks. So, actually, funny story about him. I submitted some of my like posing pictures to somebody on Instagram who is doing like uh what is it? They're like physique like a Q&A, and he's like, let me fix your posing. So I submitted uh, a front double shot that I had taken, and he told me that I look like Zoidberg from Futurama. So I needed to get help. I know it was so funny. It was nobody ever said that to me, and I was like, I see it. I do. So the guy in the picture, Josiah, I contacted him to help with my mandatories because I was not trying to look like Zoidberg on stage. So it
Yes.
was funny.
Like Zorborg saying, "Yo, what is it for? Why are you fighting on me, Fosworth?" And I remember Zorborg. I used to watch Super Jordan a bit. It used to come on Sundays with the other cartoon animation shows. And this is
Mhm.
you're practicing your routine. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You
Yeah, like
feel.
each version. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Oh, I posted this a couple of times on my profile. But each time there's like something a little different in there. Because I went through a lot of like drafts of this routine before I performed what was on stage. So like there's probably something different in here, which is why I posted it. So
Yeah. And I think it's about the process. One thing I remember I talking to with one lady, it's about understanding the process, and then you finally having your faith in it, especially in yourself, because you think, like I said again, it's up to you where you want to go. That's your
mhm.
husband, Nancy. That's your little kitty, because I see in your social media. What's your cat's name?
His name is Kaladin, and that's spelled Kaladin. His name comes from one of my favorite fantasy series. It's called the Stormlight Archive. So if there are any nerds out there, definitely check out that whole series. It's really cool. So I named the cat after a main character.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. I'm a bit of a geek. I have comic books and stuff like that. I'm not into so much of that fantasy cosplay thing, but I understand that. And here's this picture from the back. From a video. It's another
Oh
posing.
yeah, that's another version. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I put that picture as like a cover for the reel. I didn't know you could do that, but
yeah.
I figured it out with that post. I'm not very like social media literate, which is why like I don't have that many posts. So
Well, like I said, I'm telling you right now. You're still young. I'm almost 50. I tell you, it's a learning process, and especially in this bodybuilding world, this is social media is very important. It's very important,
yeah.
especially when you get connections, people recognize your stuff. Even if you're interested in sponsorship. Here you are with the great Mr. Kai Green, a legend of
Yes.
sport.
Yes.
I mean, there's a story about him, but I better not tell them. People know it, but
Wait,
But
is it the grapefruit story?
yeah, I found out. I got a friend. His name is Keith Williams. He competed. He knows Kai, and he told me about it. But a lot of those guys, they did some strange stuff. You got to do some strange to make some change, especially in bodybuilding. It is a
Yeah,
not
I mean,
very,
I'm not hating.
yeah, it's not very fruitful sport compared to other sports. And here he is with let's say that's Yashir. I forgot her last name,
Oh,
and that is
Yarishna, yeah.
Yarishna and Jessica Padillas-Reyes, who just did the Masters Olympia a couple of weeks ago. I'm a fan of hers. Impressive physique. The
Yes.
debates. And here you are with
Yeah, I drove 3 hours to meet them. Yeah.
yeah, and here's wellness, physique, and bikini. And it's just
Mhm.
you don't have to worry about you don't have to wear high heels.
Yep, that's why I'm in the middle because we
Yeah,
did that and we were like, okay, let's put Nicole in the middle. But yeah, those are my two best friends. On the left, that's my friend Arawa. She's an wellness pro, and she just got fifth, I believe, at the Sin City Pro. So I'm super proud of her.
hmm
And then my other best friend, her name is Sherry, and she is a bikini athlete. She's not pro yet, but I think she's doing a pro qualifier in like October. I'm not sure. I have to ask her. But yeah,
yeah.
those two ladies, they were like my ride or die during that whole year. So that's our
That's
little posing clip together.
yeah. I think you find a good amount of friendships,
Hmm.
inside of the community of bodybuilding. You know, it's like I said, it's good for his friendship. Like I said, you get again telling this is a picture of her back. It looks pretty good. This is still part of the process. This is like 4 days out by the looks of it.
Oh, that was my first show. Yeah.
That was your first show, and
Uh-huh.
and you say you're the only physique competitor at the show. It looks very
Yep.
impressive. You look a
Uh,
little bit closer to maybe figure in a way because you still have a little
yeah,
bit of
I was soft. I
you
was not
soft.
conditioned at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, she was soft. Yeah, so some guys like that. They like this, and she got some little muscle, but she's soft too. I like that when it's soft. So anyway, yeah, it's a tough process about finding your place. And say the critique was that you have to work for your back, and you're still working on some stuff. Um, this is one thing. Which is your favorite workout and your least favorite workout? That workout you say I don't want to do it. I know I gotta do it.
Biceps. I hate training I've never liked training biceps. I just there's something about like the curl motion that I'm like I hate doing this, and I'm mentally I always just disengage. So lately I have been doing them like first in the workout just so I just get them out of the way because they're not going to get bigger if I don't train them. So my coach now is like train your arms. So I do. My favorite would be like probably it's probably a tie between quads and glutes. Like any light thing is I love. So I'm very like light heavy. So it's but it's just because I really like to train legs. But I also I don't have the greatest mind muscle connection with my hamstrings and glutes, and that was also like part of my feedback was like bring up your hamstrings a little bit. So I've been on like a quest for a whole year to like figure out reliable ways to get that mind muscle connection. And I really have fallen in love with training legs even more, which makes training biceps even worse. So
Yeah,
it's like a game.
I'm gonna say this: you're a weirdo. Because one thing is, anytime people say it's leg day, I hate leg day. I feel like an episode,
I
like the
love
episode.
legs. Oh my
Well,
god.
hey, some bodybuilders don't like leg day. It's like the episode of Chappelle's show with when Rick James go visit Eddie and Charlie at their house, and he's on the couch. He misses the couch, and Rick and Eddie go big up to beat the legs, and Rick is walking out his car and say, "Well, my legs, Eddie Murphy." That's how some they feel on leg day. They feel like after like what are the legs, but biceps is that's I would say more should be more popular. I know you say you're a little more leg heavy, but wherever you say wherever floats your boat. Um, Here, Kale, he's saying this. He says, it was a samurai movie in the 50s. I seen it, Brainiac, whatever. That's what you're saying. Also, he says this. He says, did she said she'd been married 20 years? She looks like,
No,
no. I was saying
no.
her
I've
husband
been
together for
married
eight
less than a year.
years. 8 years her husband together, but in the Mexican community, or just in the black community too, that's almost 20 years, just about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, pretty
let's
much.
share about my parents were together 55 years, but except for that,
Wow.
50. My father was living in New Jersey while we still here in North Carolina. And
Mhm.
my parents passed away. My mother passed away 3 years ago. My father passed away 10. And and let's say that we give it. There's like technically nine of us. My father has two outside, and the seven of us with my mother. And like I said, the whole
Oh
thing about
wow.
the family dynamic. It's I'm like the middle child out of but yeah, it's just about working and develop your body. You say your coach telling you we got to do leg day, we got to do. Who's your coach?
My coach's name is Ryan Silva, and he more is in the powerlifting world, but he does really good preps for bodybuilders too. And I picked him because I'm aware of like the celebrity coaches in the bodybuilding world, but like I didn't have the money. And also I like his training style. He's very like do this and do that and do that. There's no like he doesn't try and sell you things. He's just like this is what works and you need to train hard. So that's something that I personally know that it's like I kind of mentally sometimes I feel like I let myself get lazy and he always holds me accountable. So he's a really great coach.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think it's good. I know some like guys like Nasheer and Brandon Ray and Selby Starnes and a lot of popular coaches. They're usually a lot more busy and does cost a good chunk of change. If you're not like the top level of the sport,
Yeah.
usually, but it's good that you found him. He works with you. He knows, understand you. One thing I know, I talked to one lady that she had a coach that they were together for years, but she was a figure competitor, and they gave the same cookie cutter plan that and you can't. What things like this? I say like this. What separates men and women? We're the same race. We're all humans, but we're different species. And what works for men does not work for a woman. Like I said, men we can
Oh
build
yeah.
muscle a little more than women. Our bodies are built for strength, hard work. Women and you both do this again are built for more feminine things like taking care of babies and cooking. Where's my dinner? But it's just about finding what works for you. And he's a smart man. He's like, even powerlifting, powerlifters, even though there's different aspects of powerlifting and bodybuilding, it shares some aspects. I've
Yeah, they really do. I
mhm.
didn't think they did as much as they do.
Well, I've done a couple of interviews with ladies who started out in powerlifting and they
Mhm.
switched over to bodybuilding. Sometimes they left because the fact was, powerlifting is a lot of strain on their bodies, and eventually they want to do something that's it's a form of for them working out bodybuilding. They still like that, and that's why some of them jump over to bodybuilding. Some of them still do powerlifting as their career
Mhm.
because just something they love. Here we got here. You know, this is from Ed KL. He says, I like those pictures, dynamite. I tell you now, wait, hey, this is just when I get a new girl on here, they act like, I'm a, I love the Chappelle show. I love the Charlie Murphy Two Hearts show with Prince. When he says,
Mhm.
like when that first time when Eddie met Prince and that guy Nicky Free was in him, said, yo, Shalimar got a new girl. She found the mother. When I get a new girl in here, the guy said, yo, George got a new girl. She found the mother. He excited. Calm down. Take a breath. She's married. Be respectful. So,
Please.
yeah. But yeah, Kale's a good dude. He's a good dude. I always picking on him. I'm busting his balls. Busting your balls, Kale. But yeah, this thing about bodybuilding, it is you said about it's a sport. It's a more or less a hobby sport. The cost of
Yeah.
everything. For one thing, for the guys, it did cost, but not as much compared to you ladies. These guys got put on banana hammock and a pair of board shorts and a tanning on. You ladies, you have your suits, your practice suits, your posing suits. Your suits can cost anything
Makeup.
to makeup, hair, travel, everything. And then you do in amateur, you're not making no money. You really just
Yep.
compete to get to the next. You do regionals to get to nationals, and do nationals, and after that, what's next? Sometimes you take a year off. I know some ladies who get their pro card 2 or 3 months later, they do their first show. Some ladies take 2 or 3 years off because sometimes they want to stack your chips. You just had a show over in
Mhm.
Romania. I was talking to some ladies that they had to really scrounge up some money to get together because they wanted to do that show. That was the master show. But you saying take a year off and you're developing, you know, as a competitor, what do you think you needed in sport, especially to be more, you know, worthy of your time and also financially?
Um, Like what?
What do you feel like is a
You,
competitor you can need or use to help you along with like sponsorship or something like that?
like how can I? Yeah, like part of the reason I'm taking a year off is because I need to. I can't afford to be in prep. It is very expensive. So like, I mean, a sponsorship would be nice, but I also like I want to work with a company that like I morally am okay with. And I've tried like a bunch of them, like particularly supplement companies. I've tried all of them, and there's only like one or two who I would personally like be okay with working with. So like I'm aware that because I have requirements and like just kind of a moral compulsion, I'm taking the difficult road of like not immediately making money. But I feel that it's more worth it in the long run to kind of like pay my dues so that when I am able to compete again, like it will be sustainable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand. Because the fact is, like, one thing is about the sport is that it's about finding what works for you.
Yeah.
And one thing is with sponsorship, it's a lot harder for the women in the more muscly developed divisions. It's easy for like bikini wellness. Like your two buddies, they probably can get a sponsor like that because they do a division that's more feasible in the mindset of the everyday person. You don't have to put on a lot. You get still come in condition as a bikini and wellness competitor because I did an interview with a lady who does bikini. I did a couple of interviews with ladies who does bikini. I'm not a big fan of division. I see it's a teenage division. It's a division that I've been a fan of bodybuilding since I was before you were born. I've been at least nearly 40 years. I've been following this sport.
Hmm.
I've been a fan since when Arnold was still bodybuilding. To Lee
Oh wow.
Haney, up to these guys, people like really one thing when I was getting to more in my teenage years, it was something about the women. It just kind of I was going to that that pubescent stage as we boys go through, and just something about these women, these fit bodies, and these little posing suits, and just kind of just draw my mind. But I gotta respect the fact that what you ladies go through. I know sometimes I have ladies I'm confronted with. Sometimes we have conversations. We just talk, about I say, George, this is a hard day for me, doing this, doing that. Just sometimes it takes a lot to do what you do. And then, like I said, you have to,
Yeah.
like I said, we talk about you have to deal with people like you lost a friend, and also you have to deal with people who just like saying, why are you doing this? Like especially your family. I know the same with your husband's family. They are very traditionally Hispanic, Latina. They very have an idea what women should do. What about your family, your people?
My parents are divorced, so like I don't really talk to my dad, so I don't know his opinion. But my mom, she at first she was not about it because I had to gain weight, gain muscle, and she was like, "Why are you getting fat? I can see that you're fat." And I'm like, "I'm not fat, it's intentional." And then when I was getting lean, she was like, "You need to eat more. Why aren't you eating?" But because I forgot to mention, I also have a background in classical music performance. So I played clarinet for, let's see, 12 years. Yeah, and then piano for like 20. So I've been in music for a long time. And once I explained to her that bodybuilding is pretty much like a music recital, she got on board because she was like, "Oh, it's a performance." And I was like, "Yes, whatever, whatever it is. Yes, whatever makes you be supportive. Yeah." And then after I won, she was like, "My child won the show." So she was really happy. I was like, "Yay." Winning makes family like really appreciate it. But yeah, at first she was not happy.
Yeah, like I said, I can say the part with you about your father because to quote my other guy, my father was a drunk and a fiend, and my mother never liked it, not one bit. Why so serious, son? Why so serious? Yeah, I understand that. It's good that your mother's still by you and she supports you. It's good to have those family connections, especially your husband. Maybe eventually his side of the family get on board, but like I said, we don't worry about him. We worry about you. You're the one who's putting the
Yeah.
work in, the time in. Um, this is from my man KL. He says this. He says, she has a nice legs to show off if she likes to work out on them a lot. Yeah, she got nice legs. That's good. And one thing we know about, especially something about the money part, a lot of ladies they do stuff on the side trying to make some money because bodybuilding works like this, especially for the women. Your fan base is going to the men's fan base is going to be a lot larger because the men bring attention to the body, they bring the sport in. They have a lot longest fan base. With women, you have a very small fan base. It's guys like who are just you women with muscle ascites. It's just I'm from North Carolina, like I told you before. I'm North Carolina. We're women are a little more full figure, a little more rounded, but seeing change instead of getting changing the aspects of a female shape from to still have a small waist, but then you have the V taper, the broad shoulders, the delts, you have the quads. I mean, who in the sport right now did you see that say, wow, you just, or did you ever, I know if you did nationals, I know there's quite a few bodybuilders running around. Who did you see? You just are just at awe, just, you kind of fangirl over.
Oh, honestly, there's a Brazilian lady. Her name is Zama Benta, I think.
Oh yeah, she just won the
You
Brazilian
know who I'm talking
show.
about?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
competed.
her.
She competed at Brazil last year.
Hmm.
She won the Brazilian show this year, and she did bodybuilding. She took, I think, she was top 3 at the remaining Muscle Fest last year. She went back to Physique.
Oh, she did that.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's the
yeah.
mother with 2 kids.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I ain't gonna lie, she is a beautiful woman. I mean, there's quite a few women in that sport who just are just amazing. People don't, like I said, people don't understand that. Even though you change the aspects of what is considered feminine, there is just something beautiful. Even though you still maintain that level of femininity, especially it's hard, especially for women.
For me, I've never been like overly feminine anyway. So like when I was a tomboy when I was a kid, I played baseball with my friends. Like we would run around, we wrestle in the mud. So I was never like into like girly stuff anyway, which also contributed to why I chose physique over wellness or figure. So like to me, having muscle, it's kind of it's natural if you're somebody like me who's like a tomboy. So yeah, I really, I guess regarding like the femininity thing, I just have never really thought about it because like I know I want to stay feminine, but in terms of like people's expectations, like people have always called me a man. They've always been like, "Why are your arms so big?" So like it's just more the same to me.
It's something I understand. You're not a man. See, I'm a man.
I know.
I'm a man. I'm a man with boobs and some women, but still, I'm a man. And one thing is, a woman can never really truly be a man. And any man who says that,
No.
some of that man is issues with his confidence in himself, or he has sugar in his tank. You can never, like I said, one thing is like this: you are an athlete. You compete in your sport. You work hard. It's you are at a level where you know what I want to be the best of what I do, and I want to put in the time in and the work in to get to that level. And if it's just this
Mhm.
one little thing, I may have to, make some small sacrifices. And that's the part about this thing. You have to make some small sacrifices. But if you still want to maintain that part that makes you a woman, that's good. And then, I know quite a few girls who child girls. Child girls, y'all usually grow up to be the best looking girls. Y'all keep in shape. And, we get, especially when we get to a certain point in our lives, we boys, we ain't just wrestle with you just to wrestle with you. We try to get a couple feels, something like that. We have a good time with you. I mean, I was talking to one chick. She said, "Oh, I was a tomboy," say, but I was already, by the time I was already 14, I was already a D size. I said, yeah, why do you want? Because you want to play with you. You getting soft and feminine.
Yeah.
We forget ourselves. We just, we remember we were like 10 or 12 years old. Well, we know those girls, but we start hitting 12 to 13, and then she still wants to, fight in the mud with you, and and if she see a fight me, you just like, but we boys, we're sick, little fucks. So, but anyway, there's a video I saw she did, and she did an interview. She did a couple of interviews, but this one is not gonna be too long. But this one I saw, it was for NPC News Online. They put out the content, and I want you to check it out and just listen to her and share so you can really feel it. That's why
Oh
I
yeah.
really, yeah. So don't be shy. So here we go. Here we go. Drop this video here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, got you, huh? Yeah, I got you now. Here you go.
I think I
Guys,
just
I'm
sound
Darian
manic.
Borello here with NPC News Online, and with me right now, we are at the NPC National Championships. I am with the overall physique winner. What is your name, my darling?
Nicole, Washington.
Nicole. Wow, you were beautiful out there today. What gave you your inspiration for your routine?
Honestly, Kai Green. I saw him do a routine in Prague in like 2013, and he did a headstand. And I said, I don't know what the hell he did, but I want to learn how to do that. And I think that bodybuilding should have way more of that. So I took 2 years. I did my first show. I really studied posing. I studied videos of bodybuilders, and I made my first routine. I liked it, but it wasn't quite what I wanted. So this entire year, I studied dance, ballet, like Indian dance, Eastern dance, to kind of get the kind of routine that I wanted. So, and I really want to like bring that to the sport because I love the artistry of it.
That is amazing that you really want people to find the beauty in themselves for this sport. Would you say what was the biggest obstacle in doing that for yourself?
Both the amount, the volume of content, but the lack of difference that I saw. So there were a lot of great posers. Like I researched like Lee, what's his name? I'm blanking on all of the posers' names. Like Flex Wheeler, like those. Yeah, I researched all of them, and I liked their routines, but they were kind of all the same. And so I couldn't find anybody who did something different except Kai. And so I had to think outside the box and think, what else can I incorporate into these routines? What other fields can I draw from to make this into a show? Because this is a performance sport. It's not just athletics, it's a performance. So I wanted to showcase that.
I'm so happy to hear you're bringing that to the stage because I believe artistry is such a big thing we're missing sometimes when we're on the stage. Who do you want to thank? Who is your biggest supporter? Who got you through here? Who got you here today?
My husband, Eli Elizondo is his full name, but he supported me through this entire year. He put up with all of my moods, all of my like hangriness, and I really, and my mom too, but I would not be where I am without him and without my mom, like either of them. So yeah, and my cat.
You're so lucky to have those people in your corner. Well, you look amazing today. We can't wait to see you on the pro stage and your journey. I'm Darian with MPC News Online.
That was a great interview. I mean, you should be proud of yourself. Because like I said, again, you worked hard. You put in the time in, you put in the work. You know, shout out to your hubby, Eli. He stands by his woman. That's what a man supposed to do. He's supposed to stand by his woman. He does. It's good when you have a good man. He's a good man. He's a good man. Yeah. So, but also, like I said,
never had a problem. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, finish.
Oh, I was gonna say he was one of the only people who like never had a problem with me being a bodybuilder because he was like, well, yeah, that's how you're going to display like your artistry. So like, duh. And I was like, yes. So yeah, he's great.
That's good, because it's good that he stood by you and supported you, especially when you're going hangry. Because hangry. That's the thing. I especially as a bodybuilder, when we did nationals, after nationals, what was that thing you wanted the most to eat? What was that thing that was like Pookie New Jack City? It was calling you, man. It was calling your name. It was calling your name. It was calling your name.
It was crumble cookies. I love cookies and cake, so I can eat that forever. So that was what I ate. The first thing I ate, like post show, I definitely ate a bunch of food, which I shouldn't have eaten it, but I wanted to. So, but I got like 6, I think, and I ate 4. So yeah, it was that.
That's the thing about food. People got to understand is that food is part of the process of developing body. But also, it can be a bit both a tool and a weapon. Especially when I know some people say, "Well, I'm high carb, low protein, high protein, low carb." This and that. You just try to find something that works where you bring your body in. Because one thing is, I know a lot of ladies say they like to eat sugar because sugar does make the muscle pop a lot better. But sometimes you have to go like, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. One thing you don't understand that it's just not just about eating this or taking that. One thing also they always say about, steroids is a bodybuilder, but steroids is almost in every aspect of everything. I mean, it's only, like I said, it's only that one small factor of bodybuilding. But everything is about being consistent, following your diet, following your plan, giving up. Sometimes there's days where you're laying there and you have your husband right here, you have your cat here, and it's time to go to the gym. And yeah, I don't want it. I got to do leg day. I got to do biceps. I don't want to get. I want to stay here with my two favorite people. But you know what? You have to get to that next level. You have to get up
Yep.
and do these things. It's about being consistent, and that's what people need to understand about the sport of bodybuilding.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to really struggle with consistency and like really just doing cardio. I that's another thing. I really don't like doing cardio. Um, but it was just I guess because I just got old enough to where I was like, well, if I want this, I have to do it. So I was able to like drag myself to the gym a whole lot. But like you mentioned something about sugar being a good like pre-stage thing. I don't necessarily agree with that because when I was backstage, I think I did like rice cakes or something, and I just found that what I noticed was the people who were eating like candy or like vodka or whatever, 'cause there was some crazy stuff back there. Um, I noticed that like they looked fine, but there was more. I don't know if they were like sweating more, but they just looked a little softer than the people who I knew had only done chicken or like a rice cake with some butter. So like that's the I feel like sugar, especially in like our industry, um, it's you really have to be careful with it. Because it like you can tip your look over into just not looking ready like very, very easily with sugar. Whereas like chicken and rice, you have more wiggle room. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. That's why I said weapon. Food can be a tool and yet at the same time a weapon. Sometimes you can come in like if you don't drink enough water. That's one thing dangerous. That water is very important. It's necessary for our organs like that. We have situations where people have fainted, dehydrated. I remember it was
Hmm.
a friend of mine. She was at a show, and I watched the show, the Chicago Pro, about 2 3 years ago. Lady was on the stage. She was practically just like she was dying. I've seen someone who fainted. I've seen competitors who are you got to remember, people forget that in your condition, you're at your weakness. Your body is
Yes.
your body. The human body often needs certain things, especially if it's water, if it's a piece of bread. It could just those things that as regular people we don't take for you can't take too much for granted, but it's that thing that can halter how you come in conditioning. We got here my man Rolando
Oh yeah.
G. He says this says, hey there, everyone, Miss Washington, you look fantastic. It's Mrs. Sanchez.
Thank you.
Correct you, Rolando G. Mrs. Sanchez. But And also he says, Mr. Wonder KL, been busy still at work. Mr. Page just wanted to congratulate Miss Sanchez for her pro card. Can thank you,
Oh, thank you.
Rolando. You got to correct the man when he's not right because this is a man. This is somebody's wife, man. This is somebody's woman. So we tell me you got to say about her name. So see right there, it says Mrs. Nicole Sanchez. So, but you cool, brother. We cool. Okay, we cool. So, yeah, that's the tough part about this. Most people can't do what men and women do. I mean, to get up to do this. I mean, me, I've been doing pretty good myself. I used to be when I was taking care of my mom, was sick for a long time. I was almost 500 pounds, and then I said, you know what? She was
Wow.
gone. I'd take care of myself. And this is good news for me. Just a couple of days ago, my doctor called me. My blood sugar is like 5.6. That's good. My
Okay.
blood pressure is down. I mean, one point I was almost. I'm pre-diabetic. My mother's diabetic. I was diabetic, but I tell her, what you doing, George? I said, you know what? I'm cutting back on certain things, but at the same time, I don't want to deny myself certain things. Like, sometimes,
Yeah.
you be like, sometimes I'll be out and about. And just this afternoon, I went for lunch. I got myself a burger with bacon and jelly, bacon and cheese and like that, and French fries. But then later, I'm going to cook some chicken and some rice and some mixed vegetables. It's just about finding a process what works for you. One thing, I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I'm trying to be a little healthy because I'm going to be 50 next year. I mean, you're still young,
Hmm.
but you're still a young girl. You get to my age, you gotta. Sometimes you get up in the morning. I got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin, but it's just a tough goal. And just finding a happy medium. Right now, until you're growing the process and you're working a few things, you know, as someone is, especially still a relatively new upcoming, new newcomer in sport, what do you feel what makes this sport just so much, different from any other sport in your mindset?
I think the capacity for everybody to show the artist in them is really what sets this sport apart. Because like with a lot of other sports, you're just running around and you're sweaty and you're gross and your performance is what matters. But bodybuilding, like you you're like a work of every competitor, no matter how like bad they are, they're still a work of art because they've worked on themselves. And I love seeing everybody's, like, best versions of themselves, like, on the stage. So, when I was backstage, it was just like, where I am in California, it's very isolating. The bodybuilding community here is really small. So, going to Tampa and seeing, like, all of the ladies who are just, like everybody else is also, like, strong in their town and just having us all be together, it was there's nothing like that. So I wish that I kind of wish everybody would do a show, but I know that's not realistic. But just to like, it's good to do it just so you know you can do that. So yeah,
Yeah, I said you said
I love
You're
this
in
sport.
California, right? She's on the left coast, and California to me was really
Yes.
bodybuilding really grew up there because bodybuilding been around for a long time, and California is one of the
SoCal.
yeah, SoCal. Southern California, that shit, I'm surprised. All of still out there. All of these go to the gym and all of these works out, and I saw him with Ronnie, I was working out with Ronnie Coleman, the other day. And after, yeah, Tampa, Florida is really becoming, last year they had the Olympia in Las Vegas. I did an interview with a lady by the name of Danielle Willis. She did that show. She was like, yeah, Danielle. She just turned pro about a couple years ago. She got a pro card at Omaha. And they kicked out women's bodybuilding, and she competed at the Olympia as the first Olympia. Right now, she's doing shot Danielle Willis. She's doing interviews and stuff. I hope she'll come back and compete next year, maybe. But yeah, she's also from California. I've done usually California. It used to be a big mecca for bodybuilding, but now I see it
It
going other
is.
places like Texas, Tampa.
Hmm.
I mean, especially you have the Olympic coming back next year. There, last year they did have the nationals, but now it's going to Texas this year. It
Yeah.
is. It's a tough sport, but like I said, there is some great aspects to it. And it really
Hmm.
makes you understand what it needs to work on. Like we all know that the mainstream sports always get attention. I remember back in the day when I was coming up, bodybuilding used to be on regular television. You can catch it on ESPN. No, not ESPN used to have it. NBC used to
Wow.
have it. Yeah, they used to come. I remember when I used to work. I used to have a couple of jobs. I used to work, night at a gas station. I worked day at a sewing plant. Also had another job after that one. It was years ago after my other job. The store closed. I was working in a gentleman's club, but but I used to remember coming off work. Sometimes when I was off, my old job only had like my job at textile only worked 4 hours a day, 4 days a week, 10 hours a day, off on Fridays. And sometimes I used to catch the bodybuilding shows on ESPN. And I remember growing up as a
Hmm.
kid, just watch like worldwide sports show bodybuilding. But yeah, it's the other sports will get more attention because it's more popular sports. They're more relatively well known, but bodybuilding still gets that stink eye and put steroids in it. But hey, it wasn't that long ago. There was a congressional hearing on steroids in baseball. Hey, they're billionaires, millionaires. What if they want to use it, talk about Barry Bonds saying, hey,
Barry
Barry Ruth
Bonds.
uses
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, Barry Ruth uses stuff. I mean, he can hit all the balls that much. This is a man, Roy.
I don't care what they take. Like, it doesn't matter. Well, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but like, why is it such a big deal? Like, I don't know. I never really understood the like, oh, steroids are cheating. It's not cheating. You still have to do the work. So, like, it's not like Barry Bonds took Primo and was like, oh yeah, like now I can hit. No, he still had to do the work. He still had to recover. And like what they like steroids, they help you recover. They don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily help you get bigger. Your recovery is what helps you grow. So if your recovery is improved, you are absolutely going to grow more than if you're not taking anything. So like to me, it's kind of like, duh, why doesn't every athlete take something? But it's just, but I'm aware that like I have a really weird opinion about it, so I don't really talk about it.
It's not a weird opinion. It's your opinion. It's nothing weird about it. It's what you think, what you feel. And like I said, the fact is, if these guys who, especially when you get to a point in age that you're not going to keep on going what you're doing when you're 20 or when you're 30, when you start hitting
I
close to
know.
40, you start declining a little bit. And your body, like I said, I'm almost 50. I was the same person when I was, 30. I was the same person when I was 20. My body, I take medication because, especially, like I said again, I got two bad knees. I Stone Cold Steve Austin. I got a tear in my left shoulder, my right shoulder. I got spurs here. It's just, whatever you need to help you get to that next level the next day. But like I said, you have to still know how to hit the ball. So always make you hit the ball better or throw the ball better.
Yeah, I know.
It might give you that more of that muscle and help you with recovery. Just saw recently MMA fighter who just got busted for taking steroids. A boxer, it happens quite often, but everybody's going to put the more fingers at bodybuilding. This is from my man Roy coming through. Roy says, hello, she's gorgeous. Yeah, you got a fan. I can tell you get a new girl here and shit like that, And also he says, who do you like more, Natalia or Sarah?
God.
Who's or personality do you like? Well, is she talking about the debate between the former Miss Olympia Physique champion and the current Miss Physique champion? I'm not gonna get into too much of it, but personally,
me neither.
Like I said, I think when you look at Natalia now, she really has evolved. She's more closer to women's bodybuilding. She's to physique. I seen this guy named Mark Max Muscle. He does comparisons. He mostly used to do comparisons, mostly with men's bodybuilding, but he used to do some comparisons on women's bodybuilding. He stopped doing it because of fake people told me that they didn't like him doing the comparisons with women's bodybuilding. But I do some of my own comparisons on my channel too. And he did a comparison between Natalia and Andrea Shaw. Even though Natalia does have that more tapering look, Andrea has that full muscle abilities. I love Andrea Shaw. Her magazine just came out on the cover of Muscle Development. I'm trying to see if I can get a copy because I got a stack of magazines from like a couple years ago. She has that look that works for her, that makes her a true bodybuilder. She's like the movie The Fifth Element. She's perfect. I fan over it. I posted something on IG and we were talking, about it. She was answering somebody's response, and I said, I just love that about her. She's just beautiful. Natalia, I don't know. From what I hear about her and her personality and stuff like that, Sarah, she's a rich man's wife. Why would you need a bottle with this girl?
You mean Sarah or Natalia?
Either one of them in your mindset.
Well, I do have an opinion about both of them. And like I appreciate that Natalia is trying to give the category more exposure. What I appreciated about Sarah was that she did the same thing in a slightly different way, like her trophy. But personally, I do prefer Natalia's look to Sarah because Sarah is very mature. Like her physique is it's streamlined, it's together. She looks very athletic. However, I do know like I have heard from like other people that like the conditioning thing is really this is just what I've heard. The conditioning thing is why they gave Natalia the trophy because conditioning, like the way Sarah does her conditioning, if there was a concern about like people replicating it and not being healthy and it just not being safe. So I don't know. I feel that Natalia is a good for now. I feel like she's a good representation of our category. As long as she doesn't get any bigger, like I'm good.
Well, I have a friend named Alicia Fleur. She's Ivy Pro and also an amateur judge. She told me she knows Natalia. They were at an event I think somewhere in Fort Lauderdale, and she said she's gotten way bigger. And and people talking about this was like last year when she told me how much bigger she got. I think some person I like Brooke Walker. She has both that.
Oh yeah, I like her too.
Great muscle and that next door feminine look to her. Sarah, reason why she beat some people's reason why I say they went with Sarah that year instead of with Shanique Grant, because Sarah I think had more that throwback look to early women's bodybuilding. Someone like Angela Langer or Juliet Bergman. Her condition was off this year. She's coming as she said this, some people told us she needed to come in a little softer. That happened to Iris Kyle years ago when she was up against Xeno King, how she lost the title that first time because she came in a little softer. Sarah has a good physique. Not a big fan, but I like the fact that what she's doing in women's bodybuilding for her division per se.
Yeah.
Putting up money for these shows like the Pittsburgh Pro. She wanted to put the money for. We're always going to push out with physique from his show, but I don't know where the issue's going that. But yeah, here it is. This is from man Roy. He's a hater. He says, Andrea is the biggest juicer, though. You need a lot of drugs to look like that. Doesn't matter, whatever the recovery is. Well, the thing is, so is your girl
Okay.
Natalia, because I know he's a big Natalia fan. So is she. But she also takes even though maybe not the same level, he does take a lot of stuff. He don't get that big and that size without taking some kind of supplements. There's quite a few. Some depending on how hard or how far you go with it, it's all up to you. He says Natalia will move up. Linda said it
Oh,
herself.
really?
Well, good luck to her. I don't know how well she can do as long,
Yeah.
like I said, as long as Andrea. Like this is what somebody told me. This is my man Vic. He told me when the judges judge shows, they could say like it's Andrea, it's Andrea, and everybody else. Natalia can
Yeah.
go up.
I've also heard that.
Natalia
Yeah.
can go up, but this is the thing. I'm hearing people say, "Oh, Christina Mendoza." Hear about Christina Mendoza? She's too bottom heavy. Natalia Kovaleva.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Natalia
can see that.
Kovaleva, the Russia. No, she's too top heavy. Somebody
Yeah.
said Angela Yo.
Yeah.
She's still too small. She's too slender. She doesn't have her legs.
But she has crazy conditioning, though.
Yes,
Like, I
conditioning.
wouldn't count her
I like
out
her.
at
I like her
all.
physique. She has crazy conditioning. I like her physique, but she's never going to get to that level where she's going to be. Andrea, like I said, is complete. Everything is complete with Andrea. Complete. I think she is.
Yeah, Andrea reminds me of Andrew Jacked a little bit. Because they both like I've seen people be leaner than Andrea, but aesthetically, Andrea is just so like she's just a large muscular, but she still is very, very feminine. So like I don't really see anybody. I don't see anybody like at her level at all. So,
No,
but
it's gonna
I
be.
didn't know that Natalia would move up. I mean, if she did, like okay,
Well, it's
but
just he's just
that's
saying. I
interesting.
think I think maybe a suggestion that Linda said she might do. She may not, because one thing I learned with a lot of these ladies, especially in the physique division, they say I don't want to move up because I don't want to lose my femininity. I don't want to be this and that. I just saw recently, as you know, you follow Ashley Jones. She took a break this
I
year.
do. Yes, yes, yes.
Somebody said if you saw Ashley, there's a picture of Ashley after the Olympia last year. She's taking some pictures from the back. I was for a second, no, not for a good bit. I thought that was Margie Martin when I looked from the back.
Mm,
And I thought it
oh
was
yeah.
her. I said, "No, is that Margie?" I said, "Wait a minute." She
I
turned
like
around.
Ashley more than Margie.
I like Margie. I've been a fan of Margie. Shout out to her. Margie's also like yourself. She was in the military. You were in the military. What branch were you in?
So I have to make a quick correction. I'm not in the military yet.
Oh,
I'm applying to enlist right now. So I'm just waiting for my paperwork to come back. But I'm going to enlist in the army. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know
Oh, so
that.
thank you. Tell me that. Okay. I had my oldest niece and my youngest nephew. They were in the military. My niece Marlena, she just graduated from massage therapy. She got out 3 years ago. My nephew Brian got out about 2 years ago. I was thinking about joining myself, but it just was me. And and to say again is we appreciate what someone like yourself doing. There's a lot of sacrifices you got to make in the military. That's why I don't say thank you for your service. I say I appreciate the sacrifices you're making for this country, because that's the more better word to say. Because services are really doctors, nurses. They give us a service, but you are people out there who are protecting our country. You're out there, you're defending it. So we as citizens, we always say, I'm gonna say this: we appreciate sacrifice. And I said, wish you good luck. Because one thing is, I know a lady,
Thank
she's a
you.
friend of mine. Sergeant Stacey Sanchez. She's overseas right now. She's in the military. I know quite a few ladies have interviews who were military, still in the military. That's the thing about being a bodybuilder. That it's going to be hard. Because sometimes you're going to be deployed. Sometimes you might want to do a
Yeah.
show, and you have to, especially you're going to be deployed overseas. There's not that many shows for other. Maybe there's a show coming up in a couple of weeks. I think about 3 weeks, towards the end of the month, that is the show in Spain, the Alcante show, the European Championship, and after that you have the Romanian Muscle Fest. But
Oh yeah.
but still, I remember my friend telling me that bodybuilding is very popular. It's a big contingent over in Europe. Especially I got a friend of mine. She lives in Germany. She used to be a pro. Teacher Thomas. She lives there. She has a job career there. I think that is it's a good way to maybe change aspects of your life and you go to see how things are different compared to the United States. We are here,
Oh
my
yeah.
man. Roy, he says this. He says, when Natalia hit the front relax this year,
It's true.
Sarah was
It's true.
done, knocked out. Ooh, yeah, he said this. Also, he says, Angela will beat Andrea. No. Very soon, Angela's update are crazy. Christina isn't a threat. No, she's not a threat. But Angela and Ashley will pull it off. No.
I don't know.
This is
Maybe in a
Roy.
few years. Maybe
Yeah,
in a few years.
Roy's a big fan. He knows a lot of stuff. But here's it, Roy. You know better than I do. The judges. This is like with Iris Kyle. Those that last two Miss Olympia, that could have. Which I got to meet Alina Popa in real life. I was in Savannah last year. I got to meet Alina Popa. I even saw Linda there, but I didn't get to talk to her. His thing is that last Miss Olympia. If they wanted to go with Alina Popa, they would with Alina Popa, but they went with Iris. Iris's condition is, some people say, well, always blame Iris for killing women's bodybuilding. But the fact was, if the judges are
Wait,
not,
what? Wait. You said people blame. Say that again.
they blame Iris Kyle for what's happened in women's bodybuilding because of her condition and everything. They blame Iris Kyle. They put a finger on her. But here's the thing is, things changed in bodybuilding after the Kim Zavetsky era. When Kim Zavetsky came that last Miss Olympia back in '99, when her last Miss Olympia, she was huge. You ever saw that? She was huge. But they always point the finger at Iris. But the fact was, it was about evolution of an athlete. No one says nothing about how Ronnie Coleman came in, or Jay Cutler, or Big Ramy. But because of women,
Oh yeah, big Ramy.
because of women, especially a black woman, people always go put the finger.
Yeah.
Now, if they wanted someone, if they wanted, a Miss Olympia that they wanted for the sport of bodybuilding, they could have gave the title to Alina Popa. Alina's a beautiful woman. She has a great physique. I'm a big fan of Alina Popa back in the day. I think, one thing I didn't like is she went ahead and got the pair of silicone balloons. She had a beautiful physique before. But, that's why I call her, no offense. Some women do it because it makes
You're
more
not
fun.
wrong.
But, some
You're
women
not wrong.
overdo it. There's some women like, there's a bodybuilder named Denise Massino. She used to have to lift her boobs up sometimes. They tell you, you don't need to lift your boobs up. You can see you from down there. I'll send you a picture of her, but she's still, beautiful woman, great physique, but it does, affect how your physique look. I mean, that's why I like, people like, I like Angela Yo's physique. She great condition, great physique. I like Andrea Shaw's physique, beautiful physique. There's some lady who's a good friend of Jada Bedway. She's another one who never picked the real silicone, beautiful physique. I like Brooke Walker's physique. I like those women who still have, I know, here's the thing again, breasts are very important for femininity, but it shouldn't be the be-all thing. So women like to stay natural. I got a friend, she just got a pro card. She said she's thinking about getting it back, but she thinks the problem is it costs a lot. And that's one of the aspects of bodybuilding, to bring in that look to yourself. Some women overdo it. There's some women who have get them done and look great. It just don't take away from the physique. That's why I say that Natalia, the Russian, she's not going to do too well because she's too top heavy. She has a great physique, good broad shoulders, good back, but her jugs too large, and just take away distraction from like the lady we're talking about, Zoma. I'm gonna pull up her picture right here. Zoma, she has a great physique.
Yes. I love her.
And I think she does have implants, but they don't take too much.
Does she?
No, I don't
No,
think,
she doesn't.
No, she don't. She don't. Yeah, she don't. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought maybe her pecs are just so big. That's why I'm looking
Yeah,
at
well,
it.
that's partly why I like her because she doesn't have implants. And like, don't get me wrong, if you want to have implants, like I have no opinion, but I personally I'm scared of silicone being in me, so like I will never do it. And I prefer the natural look. But yeah, Zama, she's so I'd be really happy if I could look like her,
Yeah.
honestly.
Also, the saline. That's like salt water, but it's more the women that get silicones like more firm and supposed to feel, it gives that look. I've seen some women get bad boob jobs. Oof, it takes, like I said, it does take away her physique, but she is a beautiful lady. She has a great physique, and like I said, she's the mother. She just won her first Olympic qualification here in Brazil. And you show just the video we show right here. She just has that great look. She did compete with bodybuilding last year in Romania, but she switched back to physique.
Oh.
Good thing she did good this show because nothing in the tie wasn't there. Great look to her, I think. Great conditioning. What do you see that you would, if you wanted to take a piece of her and put it on yourself? What you want to put on yourself?
Her glutes and hams, just like already I know. Or any like Brazilian girl, like just give me your butt because I don't really Like my glutes are not like my strong suit. So I really want to know like what do they do? What do the Brazilians do? Because they all have butts. I've never seen a Brazilian that doesn't have a butt. I mean, an athlete. I've seen like normal Brazilians that don't have butts, but like all of the girls, not just wellness, like the physique girls have butts. Natalia has a butt. The bikini girls have butts. So like, what's going on? Like, I really want to know.
You got to remember, Brazilians is a mixed ethnicity. It's like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a good part of it is Afro. That's why the Brazilians do so well in wellness, because they're Afrocentric
Oh yeah.
genetics. You know, like you look at some of the ladies who get into like someone like Lily Dawn, who's I think she's Filipino or something. A
I
couple
think
of
she's
the
Chinese.
Chinese. I thought, oh, she's Filipino. Oh,
Hmm.
she's Chinese. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
My
she's
man,
Chinese.
my man, K, he's a big fan of Lily Dong. Yeah, yes, I don't pay too much. I do pay attention to the division, but not too much to athletes. You know, I think one lady, somebody told me about Dr. Sunny, what's her face?
Oh, Sunny. Oh yeah,
Yeah, he said she
Sunny.
fell off this year because some stuff I'm hearing, but we're not getting
Well,
to that.
she had like a whole, yeah, she had a controversy at the Olympia. If you look up, if you go to her Instagram, like you'll see what I'm talking about. But you know, like that's her thing, so I don't
We,
want to,
it's not about
yeah.
her, it's about you. Him and Roy, he's always debating. Roy saying this: Alina was never close to Iris. She was the best ever. Iris looked like a tranny, or not?
Okay,
Oh,
I'm sorry. Like, I have to
no,
call
no,
out this comment. No, this
yeah,
tranny stop. Stop it with
yeah.
the trans thing. Like,
Hmm.
really. I'm sorry. It really bothers me. If you're going to say that an athlete doesn't look how you want them to look, calling them trans, that's not how you, what are you doing? So,
No.
sorry.
So this is
Like,
what we do,
not a
Roy.
fan of that
Roy, I
comment.
do like you. I like you do, but no. So I'm going to give you this. A little thing is, I'm going to remove you from the monitor, and also I'm going to time you out because that is stupid. You know better
Yeah.
than
I mean,
that, Roy.
also, I get triggered by trans comments because I've been called trans just from my voice. Because I was on the phone one time and somebody was like, "Sir," and I was like, "I'm a woman," and they're like, "Oh, are you trans?" And I was like, "What does that matter?" So and it got to me. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm not." Anytime somebody uses the trans thing, it always bugs me because
And
it's
the thing is,
different.
like, the thing is,
So
when you do take some subject, it does change the aspects of your femininity. But there's some women who do have natural deep voices, like for example, Angie Harmon
mhm.
from Law and Order, Demi Moore, Kathy Turner. There's some women who does have the late what's her name? Was it not? What's her name? She's seen show tunes. She had like yeah, kind of like
Oh yeah, yeah.
um,
Hmm.
she has like a kind of a deep gravity voice. Some guys like it's at one point when you sound like Vin Diesel, like you say, like it's a yard a mile. That's the worst thing. That's Vin Diesel. But it's just there's always a debate about the trans thing. There's always going to be that. But the fact is, maybe in some like special sports, me personally, I don't think women should. If you're a natural born man, you shouldn't compete with women. You should do your own thing.
I
You know,
agree.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
because you know
or
what?
have
It's
your own
not.
league.
Yeah, because it's not fair because you actually compete with somebody who is born a woman. You still, even though you do take certain drugs, some trans dudes look just about feminine, but you still have stronger bone structure than a woman. You still have enough. You still have, even though women do have a bit of testosterone, but a very small amount compared to men.
It's
You know,
like this much compared to men, which is
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
very
So
much, just this much. That's why men are more have more strength. They're gonna be stronger. This that. It's because of that.
that's why you're a
What?
man. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
that's because that's a man. That's what I'm a man. A man. So, but yeah, but again, with the thing with Alina, she did have great feminine look, and if they wanted to go with her, if they could have. But like I said, the judges went with Iris because Iris had the complete package. And like I said, what I said about Sarah was same with Iris. It was Iris and everybody else.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, like I said, I like Roy, man, but from now on, man, you're no longer moderator on my channel. You are now I just tied them out because, hey, man, we don't need that shit. We don't. These women have enough to deal with where everybody else make these comments for me. It's one thing you should know better.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely should know more better. Like I said, I'm a fan of ladies. I might get, sometimes a man will get married with a woman, but the same thing is we need to be cautious of what we see how because you ladies, you go through a lot. You have to go deal
Yeah.
with people's prejudice and the issues with you. And this is why I like to be advocate for you ladies. Like I said, I'm make it like this. I must have heard smoke. I've been a fan of female body for a long time. I remember I used to go on chat rooms. That was back in the day we used to have dial up.
Hmm.
And I used to go to chat rooms. I remember this guy telling me, "Hey guy, you're like, hey kid, you like female body?" Yeah, I said, "I'm a fan." I said, "Yeah, well, like what they say about a smoke." So what you say? Say when you ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard. And it's just we.
I'm sorry. It's like, ah.
I saw the expression in your eyes, yeah. But it's just the fact that it's not just the fact we do admire ladies sexually. We do admire your work ethic. You're doing something that most people won't want to do. Most people won't want to get. Most people get afraid if they have to lift more than 10 pounds. Like, if I lift 10 pounds,
Oh
I
yeah.
won't get enough. No, you're just gonna get in shape, get conditioning. I lift weights when I was in high school. That was for playing football. And you were in band camp one day in band camp, but
Hmm.
it's about develop your body, and you need those
Hmm.
weights. I mean, like I used to go to gym. I had to take a step back because I had a little issue with my shoulder. Plus, I was sick for a while back. I was dehydrated, but I need to get back in. I just need to get back in. But it's about the work ethic you got to put into the sport, the time you got to put in, the sacrifice, the money you got to put in. And if people don't understand
Yeah.
that, well, like Conan says, to hell with you, But it's just this sport is, I would say, it's a sport. Like I said about you, it's like being an artist. You're like your own sculpture. It's like
Yes.
you're chiseling away this and that to present a form of art that is just, as us fans, it's beautiful.
Yeah. 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 So like, yeah, the trans thing, like whatever. But um, yeah, it is art. So like, I I get I mean, I'm really, like I'm shy, so, like, I don't really capitalize on, like, the sexual aspect of it because I know it's there, but, like, I'm married, so I'm not going to be, like, putting myself out there like that, and no problem with people who do, like, do what you wanna do, whatever. I just know that for me, it's not a thing that I'm interested in, like, capitalizing on the sexual part, because I don't think bodybuilding is sexual, and that may be, like, strange because we're half naked on the stage, but I think of it more like sculpting or like in the ancient Greek ideal of you are a living sculpture, and those sculptures aren't sexual. You can make them sexual because the people are naked, but like the intent is not sexual. So that's how I see it.
Mhm. That's the problem with society. A lot of people see sex about everywhere. Some people have the mindset of it, but the fact is, yeah,
Mhm.
it's that factor is that it really is a sexual part that do give a little more attention, but also that brings them in. But we get to stay because we like we respect your worth ethic. We respect what you
Mhm.
ladies go through. Like one thing people need to learn: if you go backstage at these shows, and this is what ladies told me. Woo! Do not go in there. I did an interview with one lady. She said what she has to do, like because you can't use any kind of deodorant because of the tannin solution, stuff like
The
that. You
tan.
have to. She
Yeah.
she used fabric softener sheets and put it on her arm. People got
Oh, that's smart. I'm gonna do
yeah,
that.
you should try that one day. Or anybody like your two buddies. If that's good, something they can probably use. But
Yeah, I'll let them know.
yeah, but the thing is that this sport is about work, conditioning, consistency, going to the gym when you don't want to go into, follow your diet. We get tired of eating chicken and broccoli or chicken and carrots or fish or this and that. You get tired of this. Sometimes there's days where, I know your husband, he don't eat like a bodybuilder. He's like a regular dude. He's eating mac and cheese with
Yeah,
chicken
kind of.
nuggets. Yeah. And, and you're like, especially you're on prep and you're like, you don't give me that one, punch you in the face. But it's good that that is you got to learn. You have to sing yourself, and it's
Hmm.
tough. It's tough. But you know what? You want to get next level. You want to be on the stage. You want to stay with the big dogs. You want to be on stage with the Natalia, the Sarahs, the Brooks, the Evie Rains, actually Evie Rains. She's Brazilian.
Edie.
Been in contact with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, great look, great beautiful woman. One lady I did interview who's the top number 4 Olympic competitor, Barbara Majan. Beautiful black chocolate sister from
Oh, yeah. I also got inspiration from her. Like her 2021 Olympia routine, it was so beautiful. And I was like, ooh. So I took a few things from her, like a few poses. But yeah, she's French, I
Yeah,
think,
she's
right?
French. I got an interview with her. She speaks English pretty good. She's a mother too. She's a
Yeah.
mom. She has a daughter.
Hmm.
And people,
Yeah,
women like
I love
that.
her.
Yeah, I was hoping she might be competing. I thought she was going to compete at the Master Show, but because you can't believe it, this woman's 50 years old.
What? I thought she was like 35. Oh my god. I'm really bad with ages though, so like,
I'm
yeah.
telling you, and one thing I learned that when I got a friend, her name is Mary Ann. Mary Ann's almost 60. You'll think she's probably in her 40s.
Mm.
I met her. She came down here for an event, for a magazine premiere. I came down. We were talking. We did interviews, talking back and forth on social media. Did an interview with her. She's competing tomorrow at the Masters show. Great, cool lady. Got to meet her. She's a great lady. Her birth Amanda. I got to meet. And Amanda's in her 40s. You think she's in her 30s? I mean,
Wow.
it's just that lifestyle bodybuilding. You really don't look as young as. There's a lady competing tomorrow at the Master Olympics, 70 years old. You'll think she's about 50 something.
Damn.
Yeah, I seen the I can remember her link. I'll send it to you. You can check her out. But folks,
Oh yeah.
we don't want to hold up the lovely Mrs. Sanchez too long. We do appreciate her time. I know it's like I said again, we're like when I reach out to people, I know I gotta say, hey George, we can get this. I like to interview people that interest me. I don't do this for you. I don't do this for the part of you guys because you guys are family ladies. You like you support it, but also I do because I like to hear stories like what she won. She won nationals. Where she's at, what she's doing. What her life. But I like to give people a platform to share their story because like I said, when my mom passed, I really had this little. I was already doing this already because I was dealing with her stuff. But then when she passed, it kind of I was kind of really expand something to keep my mind busy, myself busy. I do have family, but they have kids, they grow on like that. But I really like doing this. I mean, I got to go to my first bodybuilding show. I got to meet my first bodybuilder here in North Carolina. I would love to go to some more shows, but I had to do some stuff with my car. Oh God, my niece. This was last year. I went to Savannah. Like I said again, and it's going to be a year ago next week. I missed my train back. My niece lives in
no.
Atlanta. She came right down to Atlanta, take her old uncle back home. And she told me, said, hey, if you ever want to, you can come stay with me in Atlanta. I said, yeah, because Linda's going to have that show in Atlanta. And I was thinking about going, but then I had to get my car, I had to replace my struts, my shocks, my tire, get new tires, get some work done. A car is like,
It
I
sounds
wish like back in
expensive.
I always like back in the old days when the horse go lame, you just shoot it and just keep on going, give you just another horse. But nah, you can't. I mean, my mom there, she would come up and say, a mule, telling her granddad would tell me, a mule will flop in the middle of the field and, stop mowing, start plowing. You got to wait that mule. You work at that mule's time, not yours. But,
Yeah.
but really, I would love to, someday in the future, maybe, go to more shows. There's some ladies who touch hey Joe, you come to this show, say, I can't afford that. I live on a budget and just get my monthly check and I go, already bought fun with it. I gotta pay rent and this and that. But I will thinking of save it again and maybe go and see just up close and meet these people. Some ladies I got to meet that I did interview. I had to meet with Shauna Boswell, I did an interview a while back. I met Donna Salid,
Okay.
who I've been on social media, met a couple of people who I've done interviews to talk with. I enjoyed that interaction. And that was kind of it was my first show. I was kind of shy. That shy to me. But now, really, I'm trying to open up a little more. Like my content, my content is mostly on bodybuilding. Also, I'm a fan of MMA. There's a fight coming up. Right now. It's a Road Down in Units is fighting against known for I'm gonna go talk about. I'm gonna probably catch it on streaming and maybe try to watch it. If it's already probably halfway through because it's already in Paris. I think it's like a 6-7 hours difference between them. So that fight's probably already over. I'm gonna check it out, see what's the result of it. But as a fan of you ladies and of this sport, I'd like to see it get more recognition. I'd like to see better pay. Now you're a pro. You should get look at this shit. Michaela just walked away with $2,000 at the Horizon Phoenix. With Shauna, who got to Shauna Boswell, who got to meet in North Carolina. She's down here in Fayetteville last year. She walked away from $10,000 at the Master Olympia. These guys like the Olympia itself. Big Ramy or Heidi Sherman can walk away with nearly $500,000. But still, you ladies,
I
it
know.
costs you. Like I said again, it costs you ladies more to compete because, like I said again, you gotta change the aspects. We have to be more. Back in the day, wages were a basic posing suit. Now you have to wear a suit that costs you almost your rent. I mean, you have to make a decision.
Yeah, my suit was $1,200.
You gotta make decisions. Do I need this? Do I need that? There's so much sacrifice you gotta make. But you know what? I say like this. I reach out to you guys out there. I know you guys are fan of ladies like this. If you're someone out there who's interested in sponsoring an athlete, set up a contract, set up a plan, have a discussion about what you want to do for this athlete. But don't do this. Don't be like say, "Hey Nicole, you're a pretty little thing. I like your dreads. You
Oh
gotta."
yeah, I got
Yeah,
some of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
No guys, don't do that.
Don't do that,
Stop
please.
it. Stop it. This woman has a husband. Be respectful for him and his wife. Sit down, Mrs. Sanchez. I have a plan for you. If you're interested in it, we'll set this up. You can work, this and that. You can be sponsored. We just take care of your like. You want to go somewhere? If your husband want to go with you, we got his ticket. You get your
Oh,
nice little motel for two. If you
that'd be
need
nice.
anything else, anything you need from us. That's what we want. That's what I would like to see. But it's going to be hard because the fact is, everybody's going to go with the divisions that look more aesthetically pleasing the mindset of other people.
Yeah, yeah. I knew that when I started women's physique. I was like, man, I'm choosing a tough road. But I think that if like my generation of competitors and like the up and coming ones, if we can bring more artistry to our category, I think we'll get more recognition. So, and I'm noticing there's more people being creative with the posing and like the posing. I feel like the posing should be kind of the point because you work so hard. Like, are you just gonna stand there and like not show it off? So I'm just hoping that the industry turns more towards the artistic side because I think that would help us a lot.
Yeah, one person that really is a good poser somebody talk about is Rachel Daniels, who she worked with Kai. She's good friends. I think she's good friends with Kai. She's very popular at posing.
She's fine.
Yeah, there's also a lady who she's fine. There's also a lady who come good friends with Miss Janine Lakowski. She lives right there in Florida. There's another lady who's a legend who I follow. I just recently reached out to one lady that was a client, that Sheila Black. I mean,
Oh yeah, I do follow her. I like her.
yeah, Sheila Blake. She just had hip surgery a while back. I've been a fan. She just has a great, beautiful physique, classic
Mhm.
lines. I mean, it was kind of when she retired from bodybuilding. I said, I hate to see it go, but I understand why you left because you feel like you wasn't getting appreciated as much. But this is one thing what bodybuilding needs, especially it needs more support within the sport. I mean, we come see you athletes. Wasn't that long ago we had people like Sean Roden died, Mountain Dog, George St. Pierre.
Oh yeah.
We had we had a lady I was talking to one point. She passed away. It's just so much sacrifices. But then at the end of the day, there should be more benefits when you become a pro. It should be more. Instead again, you are the
That'd be
product.
nice.
We come to see you. We don't come to see the promoters. We don't come to see the judges. We come to see you athletes. And I think what should be happening should be more health benefits, life benefits, this and that, whatever you need. Even though if you do a show, you may not win the prize money. Hey, let me give you a little per diem, help you out along the way. Because I know it's a hobby sport, but still, it's a sport, and it should be more benefits to come. I mean, one thing is like, okay, if you need something, if something happens, you get sick. There's no. If you look at the other sports. There's wasn't long ago. The NBA had a whole thing with that Don Sterling situation where they had the whole NBA union came and pushed them out, things like that. But the thing is that, because bodybuilding is such a, like something like UFC, same thing, how it's such even though UFC is a bigger sport than bodybuilding, it's still in the mindset of people is a niche sport, and their call
Yes,
is,
yeah.
undocumented, they call it, what's the word, some type of workers. I forget what it was. I said it. Not undocumented workers, but it was basically you just uncontracted workers. And and the thing is, even that you should still get something out of this sport. I think it should be more benefits. You got to pay $200 a year for a pro card, and then you compete
Yeah.
in maybe other divisions where like masters, we got to still pay to compete.
Hmm.
I think there should be more benefits to this, but people too worried about the short term money than the long term money.
Yes, that's very true. I mean, it would be interesting if like turning pro meant that you got like health insurance because I feel like not that and I'm not saying like it doesn't mean anything, but if you turn pro and then you're guaranteed like something like that with the IFBB, like they might invest more into us and then care when we die. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and then like I said, I got a friend. We do live stream together. He used to play football for 7 years. He retired. He still gets a pension from the league. He still gets some money from him. That's been 7 years. Because
Wow.
but it's just nothing's ever going to really change. And people are still getting more worried about their short-term money than long-term money. And like I said, it's still more of a hobby sport than a real sport, but still it's a sport. It's been around as long as it has. But you know, like I said again, we do appreciate your time, and we wish the best for you. Do you have anybody you want to shout out to or send best wishes to?
Well, my husband is currently on a deployment, so I miss him and I just want to thank him for like putting up with me. And then I do want to shout out my wellness pro friend Ray Ray again because I think she's going to do really well and I think people should watch out for her. So her Instagram handle is Simply Sadity and that's spelled
Just send it to me.
SIMPLYSADITY.
You know all that spelling. These are small, so you don't have time for spelling. Just send it. You can see me. I might be interested to interview her because, like I said, tomorrow. I got an interview with a lady who's a wellness competitor. I think she competed the same
You
show.
should.
Yeah, her name is
Yeah.
DM Maya. I think I just reached out to her. She's a friend of a lady who is also an amateur competitor who I interviewed a while back. I think he did the same show back in August. I really, like I said, I'm trying to expand my content. I was more focused on women's bodybuilding, a little bit of physique, but I'm really trying to expand. I've interviewed ladies with bikini, a couple of, I interviewed ladies with wellness, some figure competitors. I really want to expand my content. I'd love to reach out to these women because I really want to learn more about these divisions. I'm more of a fan of women's bodybuilding, and I support these ladies. I become great, but these other divisions, I would like to even give more attention to them. They get more attention than anything because you can find, I like the men. The guys, there's like 20 men channels dedicated to them on YouTube and other sites, but so very few.
Yeah.
Unless you're bikini
There's
woman,
no
so very
women's
few.
channels.
Well, there's people like DD on the Spot. He does interviews.
Mhm.
There's a female bodybuilding
Okay.
channel. There's
Yeah, that's that one.
David from Female Bodybuilding Forum. Also, Rashana Boswell, who I interviewed and met. She's doing a little thing now. There's also even on Wing Strength because it's a Wing Strength. Jake Wood. Yo, Jake.
Oh yeah.
Want that money? I want that gun. I'm sorry. Anytime I say his name, I don't know that many brothers named Jake, so I gotta do it. Those are the ones that really like, even though that they don't have the VASA program anymore, even though it was really for women's bodybuilding, he stepped in and he saved it. When it was almost on for a long time, everybody's always had that nail in the coffin mentality. But still, even though they cut back the shows for women's bodybuilding, there's still quite a few. Good. Even though this year's going to be a very small lineup for women's bodybuilding, I got rid of the point system. Hoping maybe more promoters step up, maybe get opportunities for women's bodybuilding. But like I said, we do appreciate that. We'll say to your husband, we want to say to him, Eli out there, brother, wherever you're at, as a citizen of the United States, we appreciate the sacrifice you made for this country. And we appreciate your wife coming out here. We appreciate her sacrifices. We hope her good luck in her joining in the military. Wish you all the best. It's tough. You've been a poe for too long. Now you're gonna get into the wheelman's army. But
I know.
But like I said, I do appreciate your time, and I do wish the best for you. I hope we do see you compete. We want to see what package you're gonna bring. If you want to take a little more time, hey, like I said, sports cars gonna be here. Take the time. I know ladies who have taken 3-4 years off before they make their pro card. I know some ladies who like this young lady Taylor Rogge. She was remember Taylor. Taylor was second to Salika at the Nationals. Did the Mr. International, got a pro card, made her pro debut at the Tampa Pro just no more a month ago. I think she was supposed to be competing at the Rising Phoenix, but I saw the list. She's not on there, so she decided not to compete because she was the winner of that show, so she's not competing that show. But it's young competitors like you, and also now we got the master show coming up. These older competitors like who's keeping bodybuilding going. You keep it alive. People come in this sport, later life, early life. It's just we do appreciate you. And like I said, if anybody out there, if you're interested in maybe sponsoring the lovely Mrs. Sanchez, help her out. Like little things you can do. Like if you see her, like hey, maybe put a gas in the car, pay her like that. Those little little things they can do that can help an athlete. You never know. Like come on. That could be $40 she might need to get some whey powder. That could be extra. This might need that. Maybe to pay her trainer for that week. Just be genuine and sincere about your interests. Don't be that weird guy. And like I said again, you want to follow her. Social media stuff description. But she's a married woman. She's a respectful young lady. I'm looking at her. She's no older than one of my nieces. No D pics.
Yes, none. Don't do it.
Stop it.
Don't do it.
Stop it. I know you guys. I'm a small like you. I know you see these ladies. They're on the stage. They're buffed out. They're oiled up. They get you a little tickle, you pick up. But stop it. Women don't like that shit. Even when we're not
No.
from bodybuilders, they don't like that. You don't get
Does
nothing
that
out
ever
of it.
work? I don't think that works.
I never did that. I one time I did it, but that she requested it. I didn't. That was just that one time. But I usually don't. Yeah, she asked me. She wanted to see. I said, "Well, I'm not."
Okay, well, if she asks, like whatever. But like if
Yeah.
we don't ask, don't do it.
No, you don't. No. We were really cool, and she was. That's no situation. But folks, we do like to thank Nicole for coming through. My darling Nikki.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No, this is one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite movies, Batman Begins. When Jim Gordon said to Batman, said, like, I forgot to thank you. And I just love it because I love using it. And, I just like to say, you never have to. Because like I said, I'm a fan of you ladies. You deserve much recognition. You should get a little more in your pocket. Then, you come in here, you risk your time, your money, your life, you risk your mental, your physical aspects of doing this sport. And I think, and you have to deal with people who don't understand. Like my man Roy, cool cat. But now we have an issue, Roy. You don't know how you behave yourself. You're not welcome. You just lost your status as a moderator, and you just got his 30 seconds already up. But I know he's already gone now. He's mad, but you know what? Be mad. This is my show. This is my shit. Don't come. I understand people don't like issue training. I'm not a big fan either. But the fact is, you don't call people like Irish Cow that. You don't like fancy.
That's so disrespectful.
You have respect. Have respect. Like I said, I'm not a big Irish. I respect Irish. People can say, "Oh, she's Ronnie Coleman." She surpassed Ronnie Coleman. Doesn't matter if she's like Pat Summitt was the most winningest coach in NCAA history. It doesn't matter if she was a woman. She was the most winningest coach in NCAA history. It's not Massachusetts. I'm not a big fan of Duke. I hate Duke. She don't Duke. But it doesn't matter because of her sex. Iris has more wins than Ronnie in Olympia. That's all that matters. The person that's right close to Iris is Linda Murray, and somebody who's not that far from them is Cindy Gillen. Sid's not that far. Sid might even surpass Iris. But she's doing something right now. I heard that she's working with my favorite lady, Andrea Shaw, also with Whitney Jones. The show coming up next month, the Triple O, I believe. I think also somebody said that.
Yeah, I want to do that show.
Yeah, I hope you do. I think Natalia said she's going to put the prize money. That's one of I think it was Natalia said one of them, maybe both of them. It should because truthfully, you need the current Miss Olympia champ. If she's going to be, I don't know if she's going to be this late this year. I think I honestly do like Brooke Walker. I honestly do. I think she has a great body. If she can bring her condition just a little bit better, come a little tighter.
Bring up her back.
Yeah. So anyway, folks, I'd like to thank you everybody come through. Like my man KL the Wanderer. Boy, you don't get no thank you here. You whether you have issue. But anyway, thank you, folks. Thank you for coming through. Let's support the lovely Mrs. Sanchez. Wish you all the best, and also good luck in your getting into the military. We like I said again, as a citizen, we appreciate the sacrifice you've made for this country, and we wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
All right. Anyway, you're welcome. Like I said, you never have to. Anyway, it's man always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Subscribe. I'm out. Have a good rest of your week. Happy Labor Day weekend. Summer is over, folks. It's getting cold.